Thank you, Oscar, for the question, and it's a great question. I'm sure you guys are going through it right now. You ladies and gentlemen are going through it right now. Depending on what level you are, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year, we get to know our faculty more and more, and we get to experience more with faculty. But again, in my case, it's been a little while, so I did have to go back and do a little bit of homework. So I'm just going to give you a few names, and I'm surely not going to capture them all because it's been some time. But Linda Lundquist, she was an English teacher that I loved. I was never in her class, but I would always visit her class, and she would allow me to spend time in her class for some reason. And I really got to know her and spend a little bit of time with her, and she was amazing. Hall of Famer, Rod McClintock, my math professor. Really enjoyed spending time with him. Again, it's kind of interesting, right? The teacher-student relationship, where they need to push you, they need to believe in you. Sometimes they believe in you more than you do yourself, and that's how we continue to develop and grow. So that's what Mr. McClintock was for me. PE professor, Steve Sabaka, love that guy. Great energy, amazing personality. All of his students loved him. I never played for him, he coached other sports, but I really just loved being around him and learned a lot from him. A professor by the name of Eileen Sullivan. I never took a class with her, I was never in her classroom. But before every game, in whatever competition that I was in, she would provide prayer for me. She would give me a little prayer in a little half sheet. She would just write it out. And I don't even know how we got to that, but that ended up happening. And it was something that I kept with me, put in my pads, and wore it during the game. And I'm fortunate to say I played a pretty violent game, but I never really got hurt. And maybe it's a testament to what Ms. Sullivan and many other Foothill High School faculty were doing for me at the time. Which is prayer. David Slagle, my government and econ class, he taught me this, and I never forget it. You know, how would you? I think he challenged us: go home tonight and talk to your parents about government, which I know nothing about, but share with them this: that our system of government is a democratic republic with the systems of checks and balances. And it's something that I've never forgotten, and I wasn't very political, I'm not very political, but in time, as you get older, you start looking at, your community, your society as a whole, and you start having to make some, big decisions for yourself, your family, and again, your community, and that was a little saying that always kind of kept me grounded. Another faculty member that I've thought about, again, preparing for you all, is Russell Clark, a faculty member that you guys interviewed as well. He was at Foothill High School, I believe, from 1985 to about 2003. And in watching his interview, he talked about working hard, which is something that I understood fully. But he talked about caring about the work that you do, caring about this course, caring about the questions that you guys developed for me, organizing and categorizing and then archiving whatever work that you guys are going to do, throughout the year, about the importance about caring for the work that you do. He also talked about, or what I'd like to say about him is he found ways to keep things relevant, keep things interesting. In my class with him in English, he found a book. It was a book about baseball, 8 Men Out. And up to that point, I had never read a book cover to cover because, again, we read books that were assigned that maybe I wasn't interested in. But he found a way to find material that was relevant to the student at the time, which baseball was. And it was a book that I read cover to cover. It's a movie that I love watching every chance that I get. And so a huge testament to him and his craft and how he worked hard to keep his students engaged in his subject matter. The last two that I think I want to share with you is kind of a pairing. They go together. If you haven't met them before, maybe you'll meet them at one of your events. A lady by the name of Teresa Hudson and Connie Preston. Okay? When we were here, they were together all the time. They supported every activity, every rally, every fundraiser, every sporting event. And I really remember them vividly as just an unwavering support group that truly cared about Foothill High School and its students and its student athletes. So I really wanted to just mention them. Yeah, those are the faculty members that I remember at this time.